Hello Internet. Welcome to Pokurecap, a channel where we talk about anything and everything pop culture. We feature different content from Asian and Western origins. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more of our videos. Just a reminder that spoilers are ahead. Would you ever marry a stranger? You would probably say no. Others might say yes. Some might even say maybe. But for Kat Valdez, it was a yes. Why not? Marry Me is a 2022 American romantic comedy drama film. It is directed by Kat Coiro, with a screenplay by John Rogers, Tami Saha, and Harper Dill. The story was based on the graphic novel of the same name by Bobby Crosby. It stars Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, Maluma, along with John Bradley, Sarah Silverman, and Chloe Coleman. Basically, the story will revolve on the famous pop star Kat Valdez, played by Jennifer Lopez, who decides to marry a stranger, played by Owen Wilson, as he was holding a "Marry Me" sign on her concert. All this happened after learning that her onstage partner Bastien, played by the Colombian singer and actor, Maluma, has been having an affair with one of her assistants. I haven't seen a romantic comedy film in a while and somehow I was entertained to see this. I know that Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson have both made some films of the same genre before, but I believe that this was their first time to star together in a film of this genre. Starring together in the 1997 film, Anaconda, doesn't count. The premise of the film might sound ridiculous and impossible to happen, but somehow for me, it worked. This movie ended up having mixed reviews for critics and non-critics alike. It wasn't exactly an award-winning film, but I wouldn't call it that bad either. Sure, it had some plot holes and missteps all throughout the film, but I felt like it was entertaining somehow. The chemistry between J.Lo and Owen Wilson was not the best, but not the worst either. Their odd combination somehow ended up complementing each other. Kat was the exact opposite of Charlie. But because of that, they just clicked. Watching this film actually reminded me a bit of Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant's 1999 romantic film, Notting Hill, where she plays Anna Scott, a famous American actress, who meets William Thacker, a bookstore owner, and eventually falls in love with him. This film was slightly reminiscent to that. I loved that film too, which is why it is not surprising that I like this one too. Somehow I felt like Kat is really J.Lo. Their similarities were pretty obvious. If Kat would have ended up marrying her fellow singer, Bastien, then it would have been like J.Lo and Marc Anthony. Kat has also been married many times, just like J.Lo has. Despite the failed marriages, both remain to be romantics. Surely, both of the busy schedules match too. Acting as Kat just felt really natural in the film. Perhaps just like Kat, J.Lo wants to be like a normal person too on some occasions. Meanwhile, Owen played a convincing role of being Charlie. He looked the part and acted the part. He really immersed himself in the role somehow. Sadly though, I think he disappeared a bit, as J.Lo kept on upstaging him in many of the scenes. Being a popular person is difficult. This movie showed that no matter what you do, whether good or bad, as long as you are a popular person, you will be talked about. There is no moment of privacy or very little time to be oneself. Kat somehow found that peace with being just herself with Charlie. I liked how he encouraged her to try to be more independent, and not listen to others, especially when it didn't really matter. I am actually glad that he told her that she didn't need the Grammy to tell her that she was a good singer. She just needed to believe it because that is the truth. He was supportive to her, although he knew that he might get his heart broken along the way. It was not hard to root for him, and definitely not hard to root for them being together for real. There were some things though which really stood out in the movie, but unfortunately not in a good way. J.Lo's performance at the concert for the song, Church, with a group of scantily clad nuns and priests, as well as her wearing a skin tone colored outfit with a big cross on top of it, just seemed a bit out of place. It was a very Madonna move. I don't know what kind of message is behind it. However, I heard that it somehow offended some religious folks. When Maluma called Charlie albino, I was stunned. I immediately thought that his comment might be viewed by others as racist or derogatory. Being the bigger man, Charlie decides that he won't do anything about it. The movie made sure that it had enough representation, from the LGBTQ community to different people of color, but that's about it. Some say that the movie seemed like a nearly 2-hour movie filmed with endorsements and promotional material for J.Lo's upcoming album. I realized the advertisements but never thought of them as intrusive since they were all part of Kat's daily promotional activities in the film. Her singing on the stage, songwriting, or recording songs in the studio just seemed natural for her, as that was the role she was supposed to play in the movie anyway. We all want happy endings when it comes to watching romantic comedies, and although this film did not have anything grand to end it with, I am glad that it actually went with a simpler, more realistic approach. As fictional as a match between a non-celebrity and celebrity is, it happens in real life too. Just like Kat and Charlie in the movie, there are tons of popular people who have found their other halves among the regular folks too. Although I would have wanted to see more character development in both Kat and Charlie, I felt like the movie centered on living in the moment. Both their pasts were only talked about instead of showed in the film. It was a good thing that they showed Charlie's interaction with his students at the math club and at school. Their interaction with both of their staff was somehow entertaining too. Many people thought that J.Lo's age and this role was just hard to match. To top it all off, she is engaged to someone half of her age in the film, which many people couldn't shrug off. Some of the clothes also felt a bit too sexy, and could have been toned down a bit, especially for that school dance. While Marry Me was not the perfect rom-com movie, it was cheesy and predictable, but it still got me smiling somehow. With these kinds of movies, I think it is better to never set our expectations too high, as they are just meant to enjoy and pass the time with. I am not sure whether the film will be appreciated by younger audiences though, especially since the leads aren't exactly in their 20s. On the other hand, the music probably will be appreciated even by young people. At the end of it all, like it or not, Marry Me actually did alright in the box office. In fact, the film made $3 million on Valentine's Day, leading the box office, and in Mexico, it even topped the box office with $630,000. Have you seen this recent film yet? If yes, share your thoughts on the comments section below. We hope you liked this video. Until next time, thanks for watching.